Here's something that might shake you to your core. You are completely alone in this world. Not in the tragic sense that leaves you feeling empty, but in the most liberating way possible. You are the only person who will wake up in your body tomorrow. You are the only one who will live with the consequences of your choices. You are the only one who truly knows what it feels like to be you. And here's the beautiful part. Once you accept this truth, you become unstoppable. Most people spend their entire lives running from this reality. They desperately seek validation, approval, and rescue from others. They build their identity around what people think of them. They wait for someone else to fix their problems, to notice their efforts, to care about their dreams. But here's what the ancient Stoics understood thousands of years ago. This waiting game is the greatest trap of human existence. The moment you stop expecting the world to save you is the moment you begin to save yourself. The myth we're all living. We've been sold a lie. The lie that someone somewhere is keeping score of our lives. That there's an invisible audience watching our every move, judging our choices, celebrating our wins, and mourning our losses. This phantom audience has become the puppet master of our existence. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated before making a decision because you wondered what they would think? How many opportunities have you missed because you were afraid of judgment? How many nights have you lost sleep, worrying about someone else's opinion of your life? The truth is brutal but beautiful. Most people are too busy fighting their own battles to spend much time thinking about yours. Your coworkers aren't lying awake at night analyzing your presentation. Your old classmates aren't tracking your career progress. Even your closest friends, who genuinely care about you, have their own lives to live. This isn't a cruel reality. It's a gift. It means you are free to become who you truly are, without the weight of constant scrutiny. You can fail without an audience. You can experiment without judgment. You can grow without having to explain yourself to anyone. The prison of expectation. Here's where most people get stuck. They believe the world owes them something. They think because they work hard, they deserve recognition. Because they suffer, they should receive comfort. Because they try, they merit success. But life operates on a different principle. Life doesn't owe you anything. Not happiness, not fairness, not love, not success. And that's exactly what makes everything you build meaningful. When you release the grip of entitlement, something magical happens. You stop waiting for life to hand you what you want and start creating it yourself. You stop asking for easier circumstances and start building stronger character. You stop looking for someone to blame and start taking complete responsibility for your direction. This shift changes everything. Instead of being at the mercy of external events, you become the architect of your internal world. Instead of reacting to what happens to you, you start responding from a place of strength and clarity. The only territory that matters. The Stoics had a revolutionary understanding. The only thing you truly control is your mind. Not your circumstances, not other people's actions, not even your own body in many cases. But your thoughts, your reactions, your choices, these belong entirely to you. Most people have surrendered this territory without even realizing it. They let social media algorithms decide what they think about. They allow news cycles to determine their mood. They give random strangers the power to ruin their day with a single comment. But what if you reclaimed this territory? What if you became the sovereign ruler of your own mental kingdom? What if you decided that no external event could shake your inner peace without your permission? This is where true power begins. Not the power to control others, but the power to control yourself. Not the power to eliminate problems, but the power to remain unshaken by them. Not the power to avoid pain, but the power to transform it into strength. The art of internal focus. While everyone else is looking outward for answers, the wise person looks inward for strength. While others chase trends, you chase clarity. While others seek approval, you seek alignment with your values. This internal focus isn't selfish, it's strategic. You cannot give what you don't have. You cannot lead others if you haven't learned to lead yourself. You cannot create lasting change in the world if you haven't mastered change within yourself. Every moment you spend comparing yourself to others is a moment stolen from your own growth. Every ounce of energy you waste on gossip is energy that could be building your character. Every second you spend trying to impress people is a second you could be improving yourself. The most successful people in history shared one trait. They were obsessed with becoming better versions of themselves. They measured their progress not against others, but against their own potential. They competed with who they were yesterday, not with who someone else was today. From reaction to response. Here's a simple truth that will transform your life. Between what happens to you and how you respond lies a space. In that space exists your freedom to choose. Most people never discover this space because they react so quickly that they skip right past it. But when you slow down, when you create that pause between stimulus and response, you reclaim your power. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being the author of your character. The untrained mind reacts. It explodes with anger, crumbles with disappointment, or spirals with anxiety. But the trained mind responds. It pauses, evaluates, and chooses the most constructive path forward. This isn't about suppressing emotions or pretending everything is fine. It's about becoming the master of your responses rather than the slave of your reactions. It's about choosing courage over comfort, wisdom over impulse, and growth over the easy path. The strength in solitude, excellence is often lonely. The path of self-mastery requires periods of solitude that most people find uncomfortable. While others fill every moment with noise and distraction, you must learn to sit with yourself in silence. In this solitude, you discover who you are when nobody else is watching. You hear your authentic thoughts without the influence of others. You connect with your values without the pressure of social expectations. You find your true direction without the noise of outside opinions. This isn't isolation born of fear or rejection. This is chosen solitude that creates space for growth. It's the difference between being alone and being lonely. When you choose solitude, you're not running from the world. You're preparing to engage with it from a place of strength rather than need. The power of consistency. While others search for shortcuts and magic formulas, you must embrace the power of daily discipline. Consistency is the great amplifier. It turns small actions into massive results. It transforms potential into reality. You don't need perfect days. You need persistent effort. You don't need to be extraordinary every moment. You need to be reliable in the small moments that nobody sees. The person who shows up consistently will always outperform the person who shows up sporadically, no matter how talented they are. This consistency builds something invaluable: self-trust. When you keep your promises to yourself, especially the small ones, you develop an unshakable confidence. You know that when you commit to something, you'll follow through. This self-trust becomes the foundation for every other area of your life. The wisdom of silence. In a world obsessed with self-expression, silence becomes a superpower. While others feel compelled to share every thought and reaction, you learn the value of holding your peace. You understand that not every thought needs to be spoken, not every feeling needs to be expressed, And not every situation needs your commentary. Silence protects you from saying things you'll regret. It gives you time to think before you speak. It allows you to observe and understand before you react. It creates space for wisdom to emerge. This doesn't mean becoming passive or disengaged. It means becoming selective about when and how you use your voice. It means speaking with intention rather than impulse. It means understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is nothing at all. The transformation. When you embrace these truths, when you stop waiting for the world to care and start caring for yourself, something profound happens. You begin to transform from the inside out. You become less reactive and more responsive. You become less needy and more generous. You become less scattered and more focused. You start making decisions based on your values rather than other people's expectations. You stop seeking permission and start taking responsibility. You stop explaining yourself and start living your truth. You become the person you've always had the potential to be. This transformation isn't dramatic or sudden. It's quiet and gradual. It happens in the small moments when you choose discipline over comfort, in the private victories that nobody sees, in the daily practice of becoming slightly better than you were yesterday. Your journey starts now. The ancient Stoics didn't have the distractions we face today, but they understood timeless truths about human nature and personal growth. They knew that the path to a meaningful life isn't paved with external achievements or social recognition. It's built through the daily practice of self-mastery. You don't need anyone's permission to begin this journey. You don't need perfect circumstances or unlimited resources. You don't need to wait for the right moment or the right mood. You just need to decide that you're tired of being at the mercy of external forces and ready to become the master of your internal world. Start small. Begin with one area of your life where you can take complete ownership. Maybe it's your morning routine, your physical health, your learning habits, or your response to stress. Choose one thing and commit to improving it every day, regardless of how you feel or what's happening around you. The world doesn't need another person seeking attention or approval. The world needs people who have mastered themselves, who can remain calm in chaos, who can think clearly under pressure, who can lead by example rather than by force. You have the power to become that person. You have the capacity to build an unshakable character. You have the ability to create a life of meaning and impact. But it all starts with accepting the truth that nobody else is coming to save you. And that's exactly what makes you capable of saving yourself. Stop waiting for someone to notice you. Start noticing yourself. Stop seeking validation from others. Start validating your own grief. Stop performing for an audience that isn't watching. Start building for a future that's worth living. The journey of self-mastery begins with a single step, taken not for applause, but for alignment. Not for recognition, but for respect. The respect you give yourself when you choose to become who you're truly capable of being. Take that step today. Your future self is watching, and they're counting on you to begin.